Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is a new game to the show, Our Last Best Hope, designed by Mark Diaz Truman and put out by Magpie Games. You can pick that up at magpiegames.com. If you want to learn how we generate stories playing the game of Our Last Best Hope, go check out our Last Best Hope game primer on the website. So in brief, the game is Armageddon style, like you are a mission crew going to stop something from that impacts and could destroy the world. So your goal is to complete your mission and save everyone, and that's the challenge. It shares some similarities to Home by Dark that we've played. I believe it came out a little bit prior to Home by Dark, but it's interesting to see where these games evolved from. So yeah, so our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me,
Ken Breese,
and returning guest,
D. Gailey.
All right, welcome back. All right, so first things first, we're going to get into our setup.
Maybe.
So we'll go through our setup real quick.
Okay.
Cool. So we are playing a snow mission. This is a near future where peace has come to the Earth in a series of peace. We don't have wars or weapons.
No, it's like
Pax Tierra.
There you go. Pax Tierra.
Pax Terra.
Pax Terra.
Unfortunately, somehow a doomsday device from a previous wartime has activated a factory of possibly atomic mecha in a frozen tundra, like inaccessible spot out in the ice and snow, has started to awaken and sent out these robots that threaten to destroy Earth.
Roboids from a bygone age are coming. They're coming to get us.
So our problem, our limit, is that time and our humanity has forgotten the weapons of the past, but the historians and hobbyists remember.
That's right.
Which is us.
So the plan is to get to the brain, the sort of hub, the source and main center of this robot factory control room, and program the mech to launch themselves into the sun, to blast off of the Earth away from humanity.
That's right.
Our assets, we have an employee manual for Site X. We have a 3D topographical heat map of the compound and the device. We also have a 6-shooter pistol borrowed from the museum.
I am playing Brouge Craklin P.H.D.
All right.
Brouge is a military history professor, avid rifleist. Is very interested in the military conflicts of society's past, though they are used as cautionary tales. He definitely has embraced that. He's not sort of wanting to return to those days, but he, for whatever reason, has been quite drawn to that history. He's on the mission as the captain to sort of lead the group onward, and has done a lot of research on this phenomenon, these mechs and their mother brain. What he brought with him was his ancient rifle artifact and 12 bullets. What he left behind was his wedding ring.
So I am playing Cyndy Diamont. She is a professor of biotics and robotics, but like historically, because with the advent of nanoswarms that we kind of keep in our like collective cities, we've kind of went away from using robotics, but it's an intriguing thing that she's maintained a look at like individualistic AI as part of her thesis, and has a real fascination with the anachronistic humanoid robot stuff. And so she brought with her a toy robot, this like the stickers have long since worn off, but it's like it turns from like a truck into like a standing walking like biped toy, and she finds it fascinating. She left behind her thesis, her life's work, and she's on the mission because she is a foremost mind on these AI systems and robotic program systems.
Yeah.
And thought systems.
I'm playing Sofia Morales. She is an engineer, but she is self-taught. She has spent her life researching, building, creating, inventing objects to perform a myriad collection of tasks. And she has studied relics that she has found of the past, different machines. And she's bringing with her lucky something called a space pen. It's a writing implement
Interesting.
that can write anywhere on anything and
Wow.
still works.
Even upside down?
Even upside down, which she takes advantage of because she tends to write in sort of like 3 dimensions. So the walls of her space become kind of her brainstorming spaces. And she's left behind her childhood sweetheart
Ooh.
on this mission. She's had to say goodbye.
We'll get into our story now.
Our crew were like flying in this invisible jet. It's sort of like Wonder Woman's jet. It's invisible. You can't see it from the outside. Sort of has like almost cloaking camouflage technology. And we've been using the invisible jet fly up to the North Pole to find this ancient site, this doomsday weapon. We are committed to shutting this weapon down. I gather the group. I kind of think that we're all in the similar new uniforms, almost like Star Trek, where we're all sort of like in these sort of streamlined bodysuits. We might have some harnesses or belts to hang equipment on. Brouge is pretty young. He's in his mid-30s. He's a strapping guy, calls everybody around and says, "All right, everybody, just got the report in from Mimic. We're going to go down there right to the compound. It seems the snow is going to reveal us in the jet. They'll know we're coming." But Mimic had an alternative route. It's landing now and hiking through the snow to the compound. Probably we'll be able to stay hidden that way. But I don't know. What do you think we should do?
These things aren't particularly smart. They aren't going to be expecting us. They haven't seen something as advanced as one of these jets.
It's true. It's true. I mean, they haven't seen anything as advanced as us. We could be like walking into some sort of, I imagine what it may have felt to be a caveman in the dinosaur time.
I mean, they're machines. You know, it's like going into an old GE museum or something. Like be like a bread heater or something. Like walking, talking bread heaters.
Do you think there'll be a museum here?
I mean, it'll be likened to a museum.
Oh, that's a good point.
What do you think, Sophia?
Sophia looks up from the employee manual that she's been reading this whole time while the captain was talking. Wait, what were you saying? What? What's going on? What are we talking about?
Pay attention, Sophia. You're driving me crazy.
The information in this manual is very important for this mission. I'm just trying to understand what we're getting into here. It just seems like
What is there to understand? There's snow blowing around. The snow is going to reveal our ship if we try and fly down there.
well, of course, the atmospheric effects are going to affect our mission, but really, like we only have a limited amount of time before we land, and we're in direct conflict with this technology.
We want to be in conflict with them. Do you want to just fly down there or not? That's really the question I'm trying to get answered.
I mean, it's that or we go on foot, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be expeditious, but it could be, I don't know. It could be dangerous to go right in, I guess.
That's right. It would be dangerous. And Brouge gives a big smile.
It seems like our options are dangerous no matter what.
Hmm.
I mean, we knew what this mission was coming into it.
Now, so should we fly right in? And I mean, you're saying Mimic is saying immediate exposure.
That's what Mimic's saying, is that if we fly in, they're going to know we're coming. But if we sneak in on foot, I mean, that's the military option. That would be the best way to go, I think.
Well,
But time is of the essence here.
I think I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe I might agree with the captain on this one. As long as we
That's
stick
a first.
as long as we stick together down there, and stay close and I think that having the element of surprise would help in this
I
situation.
mean, I just don't know that we're equipped for the terrain, to be blunt.
Well, we're running out of time to decide, aren't we?
We have a few snow speeders on the ship, but we'd have to find our direction the old-fashioned way, by the sun.
I mean, there's so much cloud cover. I don't know. I mean, I'm nervous to get out of the shell that we're in here and get out into this. We're not equipped for wild environments.
Are you sure? I can take a look and rummage through the stuff that we have.
Look, if you two and Mimic both think it's the best way to go, sure. Well, but I really think that these things are not smart enough to even act on what they're going to see.
Well, I'm the captain. It's my decision. And I say our chances of survival are better if we fly right in. Hit 'em. Hit 'em quick. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I guess that's logical. That's 2 against 1.
Straight in.
We're flying straight in. The wind is wreaking havoc with our cloaking technology, so it's quite
Yeah.
easy to sort of see our ship.
I'll set my scene.
Indeed.
We're going over the manual. We're going over the plans for this whole thing. You're looking at it for like technical weaknesses, I'd assume. And I'm trying to see like what sort of programming language they're using on this thing. I don't. Do you have like? Is there anything about machine code in this?
Oh,
I mean, I see you've highlighted like most of.
well, really, I've highlighted the most interesting parts. I wouldn't necessarily know. I mean, you're much better with the language. I'm more of the structure. But yeah, if you take a look at this paragraph here, your technical knowledge is so much better than mine. But I think it's saying something about structure, like something to do with the programming of the damage structures, something about weapon systems, something to do with it looks like the weaponry that the robots have that specifically for site defense.
Site defense.
Yes, I believe that here in the manual they talk about that this is Site X, they call it.
Well, maybe we can ask Mimic. Do we know what sort of weapon systems, Mimic, that these things are carrying?
It seems there are different configurations. Some more equipped for hand-to-hand, and some for long range.
And I mean, the one we dismantled was like 15 feet or so. I mean, how Mimic? Do you know how big these things get?
Unknown. However, records do show 15 feet tall to be an average size.
Huh.
Well,
But
wow.
records do show other sizes, smaller and larger.
Yes, all right. I suppose that's not a lot to go on.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're the experts, right?
I mean, I try.
I mean that's the thing, right? Like this whole mission is predicated on the fact that this is secret technology. Like I know the computers and what was going on in the day, and like I can probably, write some code or hack something if we needed to, but I mean similarly, like we don't know what kind of tools they were using. How do you think you're even going to be able to figure this out?
Well, I mean, there was in this manual there's some listings of the standard tools that come equipped in the different supply stations around. I've been able to piece together just a little bit about the typical things that we might find, resources we could use once we get there. But yes, there's just not much description.
So we're just counting on getting what we need when we're there. This whole thing is a mess.
Oh, Cyndy, don't say that. I really feel like just having you here with me. I really admire just how much knowledge you have of coding and the languages of these computers that you've told me so much about. I have a mind for the anatomy, but the physiology, but you have knowledge of the mystical sort of inner workings of the mechanical mind. That's just fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I am extensively studied in these things. There are quite a few examples that could be useful in figuring this out. There was a definite case. Actually, there was an instance where 2 kids were able to break onto a military base and activate a war simulation program that actually activated quite a few military defense systems. It was touch and go there. But, these 2 kids were smart and able to eventually beat the system at its own game. But yeah, I mean, we should be so lucky. I mean, it doesn't help that, these systems are going to be in Russian, a language that, is arcane.
At that point, Mimic sort of kicks on and says, there are a trio of large objects heading towards us. They seem to have seen the ship. We are heading downwards at a good clip, but they're following us. They seem to be vocalizing. Shall I pipe through the sounds?
Yes, Mimic, that would be great.
Just this cacophony of like screeching sort of starts to bounce around the crew chambers.
Is this the threat in play?
It is the threat in play. As bloodthirsty mutant predators are hungry for flesh!
Oh, no.
And mutant owls are mutant snow owls are attacking our fearless
Okay.
heroes.
Mimic, are they on a course to collide with the ship?
Brace for impact!
Ah, why did we have so much rampant GMO? This is madness.
It's at that point that the first of them strikes the ship.
What should we do, Sophia?
Well, we don't have any defense systems on this plane. We've got to just try and land safely, and I don't see if we have any handheld weapons. I don't know.
Can you fly this thing?
Well, I did read the technical specs. Usually Mimic takes care of things, but there could with this type of collision, there might be some problems with the autopilot.
I'll take this. Just follow my lead. Cyndy leaps to Mimic's like manual navigation panel and starts mapping a course for a heavy snow bank. It's like looks soft and says, "I'm mapping you some coordinates. You're gonna aim right for it. It doesn't matter if we land if we don't get out of these things' sight." And so she starts plugging in these coordinates so that we can crash into a snowbank.
Okay.
Crash into a
So-
camouflaging snowflake.
Cindy taking charge of crashing the plane safely has made Sophia feel safe.
Safe and
Yes,
sane.
and sane. She feels like Cindy is competent and is going to be taking care
Taking
of
charge.
taking charge.
It's 12 versus 12.
So that's a
It's
zero.
a push.
That's a push.
Surprise! Make attack!
Oh no. We're maneuvering to crash into this snowbank, and as we get closer to it, the snowbank, the soft snow that I thought would like protect us, rises up, and there's a mech right there, and you swoop out of the way just in time. One of the snow owls crashes headlong into the mech,
Definitely.
and they're both rocked for a moment. Like, what are we gonna do?
Sophia should take the surprise mech attack, I guess.
Okay.
Because that's sort of technological.
Yeah, Cyndy goes, just keep flying. I'll try something. And she starts going through the logs of gear and punches up, like if they needed to drop packages down. This thing is, because like this is like a relief craft as well. Like you use it to fly over.
Totally,
areas
like a
and drop.
rescue
Yeah.
craft. Yeah.
So it's got a bunch of like parachute packs with crates. So she's gonna attempt to like blast some parachute packs out at these birds. I'm also gonna spend a story point to remove one die from the threat
Got it.
for this roll. And I'm gonna take a harm. I fire off these parachute packs. They unbalance the craft a little bit as you're doing a careful maneuver, and the parachutes like fly past these birds. They're
Yeah,
able
they
to like wing around them. One actually gets caught and it just tears it apart from inside before it hits the ground and flies back up towards us with its like third arm talon in its mutant center body. That unbalancing knocks me sideways and I bang my head into the panel at like a sharp corner and am like kind of like holding on, bleeding from the head. And now it's your go.
So Sophia sees Cindy like taking this damage, and she's feeling concerned, but she going to rapidly try and just like rack her brain for anything that she's read in the technical manual about Site X to see if she can remember any special strategies to use against these mechs.
You take a harm.
So it doesn't work.
She's kind of like freezes up physically as she's like racking her brain trying to think of something to do against this mech, trying to recall from her memory some piece of information to use. When the plane violently jerks, she's thrown from her feet. The tools and stuff that she had set over the tables kind of fall on her and ding her up a bit.
The plane is rocking. There's a hole, like the warmth is being sucked out because the back like bay doors are open now where the parachute packages were shot out. She grits her teeth, holding on from console to console, starts like stumbling forward, and she reaches into one of the like supply caches and grabs a pistol.
Sick ass pistol.
And she cracks it open, spins it, loads it up real quick, closes it up, and cocks it, aims, legs spread, just sticking a gun out this bay door, trying to shoot these bird things that are getting closer and closer.
This is bad. It's a failure.
The recoil of the gun
Ah!
is just like
Ah!
she wasn't prepared for this. This is the first time she's ever fired
on
a
her
gun.
back in
It
the
was all
snowbank.
theory up into this point. She's blown backwards off her feet, nearly out the bay doors.
Ah.
Like she's like the gun starts to like spin towards the bay doors as she like lunges for it, grabs it away. At that point, one of the birds has kind of like come onto the plane and is like through the bay door and is like scrabbling her and scratches at her face and head. So she's wounded.
What about for Sofia?
So she is laying on the ground. She just had a bunch of power tools kind of dropped on her head. So she's feeling dizzy. She's feeling very panicky. Sophia is feeling dizzy from all the shit landing on top of her. She sees the manual for Site X fall to the ground, and she's still desperately trying to figure out how to find the weakness of this mech. So she lunges towards the book to try to catch it and bangs her head on the edge of the table.
Ouchie, ouchie.
And falls down again.
Gathering her wits about her, she looks at this thing scrambling through the bay doors and does a quick calculation. She sees that she'll have to like move quickly to get past it to manually close these doors. So she uses her wits to do that.
No.
And she lunges and the thing catches her in its beak and is just like clamped on her, just bleeding and
Bleeding in
And-
owl's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Cindy is helping me.
Shouting out instructions to you. Shouting out prayers.
Mm-hmm. Just encouragement, I think.
Just
I think would be
encouragement. You
enough.
can do it.
Because
Save me.
Sophia does have technical knowledge.
Does.
So she maybe just needs some encouragement
Yeah.
to buckle down and get a grip. All right, so the encouragement from Sydney inspires Sophia to remember a bit of information about the mechs, and she's not sure yet if it'll be enough to really like get the defenses, but that encouragement and teamwork from Sydney like steals her, and she's able to regain her feet and shake off the dizziness. She's feeling inspired.
and she's now flying deftly away from its attacks.
Yes.
Okay. I'm calling to you like encouragingly, but I'm like, I could use a little help here. Could you, I don't know, come real close to that mech or something? And so she wants your help to try to defeat this guy. Based on your flying, I like grab onto some, like a cord, and you almost like flip us through the air, and it launches this bird at the mech that just splats in front of it. There's still one more bird chasing us, but the bay doors close behind us, and I pull myself up to the cockpit and say, we gotta end this. You can do it.
All right. Sophia remembers a particular weak spot of the mechs. We still have to crash land the plane, but I think if we aim specifically for that part of the mech and we crash into it with enough force, it will disable the mech and we'll be safe inside.
We just gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah, let me check your math. And so I pull up the like mimic again, and I'm like playing with the readout.
Good.
Yeah.
Based on Cindy's calculations, Sophia is able to put in a trajectory that crashes the plane into the side of the mech's like mechanical knee, basically. Causes the mech to crash land away from the plane, and the plane lands into the snowbank with a force that like jolts the crew from their feet, but everyone is safe.
Until the remaining snowbird lands with a crash, like right on the like windshield of this thing, and starts fracturing it with its large, like rocky, weird beak.
We thought we were safe.
Yeah, we thought we were safe.
Nope.
Sophia, is there anything we can do?
Don't forget you have that gun.
I don't.
Out of
I
bullets.
think you gotta pop the canopy.
All right, I'll do it. She picks up she programs into the computer, remembers how to open that that stupid canopy of the jet, even though they've been crushed.
Nice.
Okay. Together, like you're programming in the thing. It requires me like reaching across the thing. So it's like on three. The canopy blasts up in the air, and the mech that's laying there on its back just shoots the bird out of the air with like a blast, and it falls. into the waste.
We have to set up a camp because some of us have been injured in this crash landing, and we need to strategize and rest for the night as we figure out a
Truth.
plan for infiltrating the base, the
Mhm.
Site X in the morning. We can have everybody in the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Kim would decide the threat, and I would be the mimic.
we're all
Right.
shaken up,
Yeah.
and we need some time, like an overnight, to recuperate and kind of plan. And everybody's feeling stressed out, obviously, because the event that just happened. But we have to make do and like try and take shelter in the crash plane, take care of business, eat, stay warm, all
Yep.
that stuff. In the scene, Sophia has taken some time to kind of like board the crashed mech a little bit, and has brought some like interesting parts back to sort of the dinner table, and is working on the parts as everyone's sort of sitting around, experiencing the emotions of post fight.
Post-crash fright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I mean,
my
if this
head.
is how it's gonna be, I don't. Are we
Well,
really cut
I'll
out
be
for
there
this?
next time. I was just knocked out by the crash. Don't worry. I'll myself and the rifle I bought will be just fine.
This is.
We brought enough gear. We have our snowshoes. I brought some skis. We just need to get over there.
Sophia, we're supposed to be setting up camp. What are you doing?
Sophia is got her nose in a random mechanical part, and she's sort of fiddling with a screwdriver, like a circuit tester, trying to like connect some circuits and see if she can get electronic readings. She looks up and says, "But we have to figure out how these things work. I am helping."
No, it doesn't matter how they work. We're gonna freeze to death. Like at this point, Mimic, what's your power reserves? Without proper solar batteries, my reserves will be depleted in 3 hours.
Brutal.
So
We need to find some juice for Mimic.
I mean, at this point, like Mimic will pop back on when the sun comes up, but that means like we can't count on Mimic to heat us. Like help it. Like we gotta make this a shelter now.
It's
The
true.
ship's got holes in it.
Like they used to do in the old day, camping.
But yeah, I mean, what?
Oh,
Snow
is it?
camping.
Are you cold? I had to notice. Yes,
It's a
I
little
suppose.
cold.
Well, I guess we'll need wood then for a
Wood.
fire. I don't know.
I mean, this is a frozen wasteland.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we came down so quick.
There's no wood. You're driving me crazy, Sophia.
You're driving me
How's
crazy.
this possible?
Driving me crazy. Well, I mean, we didn't see all the topography as we were coming down. Let's consult the map. And as I take out the 3D heat map, and it appears in its awesome 3D
hologram.
hologram,
Mm-hmm.
we see that, in fact, we are surrounded by mountains. And as we're like, oh, so weird, mountains, we look out the window and realize that
Yeah.
we can't see the mountains, but we can hear the sounds of a coming avalanche. I don't know. We have bigger problems.
I'm gonna trigger this too.
Oh.
Fear, which
Oh,
is
the
gonna
fear.
add to the threat.
It is.
The snow starts to bear down on us.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the
Yeah.
ship is moving. There are no lights now,
Almost like a
and
barrel.
we're kind of separated in the dark as the
Mhm.
snow starts to cover up all the lights, and
Mm-hmm.
we're very alone. Yeah, you do it. You take
Yeah.
the threat.
Yes, that Sophia looks around, and even though they were just in the ship in the dark, the rumbling of the avalanche all around, it's almost as if she's alone. Really doesn't want to be alone in the dark.
Mm.
All right.
So what does she do?
So she is yelling, trying to figure out where everybody is, because we have to be able to get together and find each other to be able to escape from this avalanche. So she is just yelling, and she doesn't have any technical knowledge of avalanches, so that's not going to help. But she's yelling for help from other people if they're around and want to help.
Yes, I am yelling back.
Yeah, and Cyndy also is.
It's okay,
hollering.
I'm here.
Just keep your wits.
Please
It's-
don't leave me. I don't want to be. Where are you?
brace yourselves against the hold, and she'll
Nice.
reduce our threat. This
Nice.
story point.
All right. So Sophia's going to try and find everyone in the dark in the rumbling of the avalanche. We all join hands. Now that we found each other in the dark, we're going to have to make a run for it because this avalanche is coming.
We're sort of coming to a pause, as it
Yeah,
were.
we like held onto one another.
Yeah,
as the
held
ship,
on to
like,
one
spun
another. Yeah,
and
exactly.
rolled.
Mhm.
Spun.
We're supporting each other.
I'm running with everyone towards hold of our ship.
Okay, but now we're all holding on to each other. So that's
Right.
good.
So what do we do?
Well, now that we're all together, Sophia is feeling better. So she's able to direct everyone to grab equipment and items. As the avalanche is pushing the plane, it sort of buries the top openings of the plane and pushes it. But they're able to climb out and like surf the avalanche wave on the top of the plane. Yep.
Whoa.
So we tried doing this together, or
Yeah, so let's try together to surf the plane and do a cool move where we're gonna try and like jump off the leading edge and escape
Sweet.
just as the avalanche comes to a stop, and we'll safely
Awesome. I love it.
flip off of it if all goes.
Okay, cool. So we won that.
So we do it. We flip out of the plane with all of our equipment in tow
Whoa!
and surf the edge of the
Whoa!
avalanche.
leap off before all the snow pushes the plane off
Whoa!
a cliff.
Yeah. But now the plane is gone,
It is gone.
and
It's buried.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gone.
Well, it went off that cliff though.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You know, it's still good. It's still good.
If we could figure out how to get down there.
Yeah.
But we've got our equipment.
We do, and we need to get to the compound. We are on our way to the compound. We are trudging through the snow. We have our ears and eyes out for mutant snow owls. We're looking for the telltale signs of mechs hiding underneath the snow. But most of all, we are drinking this bioluminescent algae that has been genetically modified to warm you from within. And so we are feeling warm enough thanks to our
What
superfood.
supplies we have left.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
But
we
we
need
don't
to
have
grab.
many supplies left. In this scene are all of us. We're all in the scene. We're all tromping through the snow. And I say, Sophia, I think we're getting close. The map is not guiding us wrong, thankfully. You have your pistol. I have my rifle. We can still do this. We just got to get to the compound and get in there.
Sophia is trouncing around, but she's got her head buried in the manual. I think I found a new page. Here it's describing a series of maintenance access tunnels
Oh, you're driving me crazy.
that lead underground from the base, from the site. I think that we will, if we were to follow this topographical map through the snow, I think we might be able to access one of these.
It's
these
just your
maintenance
voice, I
tunnels to get
think. It's just
inside.
your I can't listen to it. It's just like it gets in my head. I just can't I don't know what to say. I can't even hear what you're saying.
Sophia, as she patiently is trying to explain a solution that would aid the team in what they're doing, she is just feeling super crazy that every time.
Brouge is just on her
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah, so I'm going to trade that in.
Awesome.
This is, we have very few supplies. This is still like, it's going to take a while to get there. We just got to focus on the moment, gang. This is bad news. I'm not feeling good about this.
Things look dire, but if we can get to the compound, maybe we can find a way to create a shelter for us so we can start to explore it.
This is what I'm telling you. There's an entrance to a maintenance tunnel nearby to here. We can go in underground and access the site that way.
See, all my research leads me to believe that the simple solution is going to be wrought with peril. We go through some secret passage. There's going to be some unknown threat in there, and it's going to get in the way.
I mean, Cheryl, I just really appreciate your reasonableness, your logic. Keep me sane, Cheryl. I sort of put a hand on Cheryl's shoulder as I say, I think the worst is behind us.
Is it, though? Is it the worst that you just keep calling me the name of your wife that you left behind? I'm Cyndy, you bastard.
I said Cyndy, didn't I? I thought I had been.
Last night you called me Cheryl, too.
What? Sophia looks up from her book. What does that mean?
Back to your book.
We'll talk about this later, all right? I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I mean, it was just in the.
Just
I was
leave
really
it.
tired.
We're never making it back
I
from
mean, I
this
called
anyways.
you Chewbacca at one point too. I mean,
We're never making it back from this, are we?
I just don't think this pessimistic attitude is going to help us at all. We have to find a way to get into this compound, and all that we are doing is fighting. As Sophia is saying this, thick snowflakes start to fall, and in a matter of a minute, as the trio are arguing, a massive snowstorm happens.
oh shit.
And in a matter of a minute or two, what once was comfortable to be outside in our insulated snowsuits has become almost unbearably cold
Freezing.
as we're freezing.
Can't see our way to where we need to go.
And blizzard winds start
We're-
to blow.
We're going to die if we don't get out of this.
We need warmth. And I put my arm around Cyndy.
I knock you off and say,
I'll take this.
all right,
Our
captain.
As I say, it's okay. We'll make it. I'm pretty sure the direction we have our map, we'll be fine. Spend a point for our map.
Still mad at you.
Still mad at me.
She's glad that you're a stable hand.
I am.
Cindy, it's like, all right, somebody's taking charge.
I say, Cyndy, can you see anything? Anything up ahead? Or
Our most immediate concern is not freezing to death. I think we need to, again, this is something my research has shown me we can potentially survive this if we burrow into the snow for some warmth.
that might be our only choice, is to make the shelter here. We can't keep going.
Sophia is feeling a little hurt
Yeah.
by having people not listen to her.
Oh, I feel so good about this. As we burrow into the ground, thanks
Into
to
the
the
snowy,
quick
yeah.
thinking of my one-time lover, Cyndy.
One time.
One time. Estranged lover.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the 3D topographical heat map we have with us. And we're able to fashion a shelter underneath the snow. We're able to sleep in to recuperate.
We ought to huddle real
We
close.
do have to huddle real close. Who's in the middle?
Sophia's in the middle.
Sophia's in the middle, which we both hate because she
We
drives
need
us crazy.
We need warmth. And I look at the manual and I'm like, we just need fuel to stay warm. Sophia clutches it closer.
Nice.
The sun rises in the morning, and we need to make time.
I'm not even sure where it is anymore. I think the map is leading us correctly, but everything's covered now in snow.
Yeah,
I don't even know where the ship is.
I mean, the terrain was treacherous already. Now it's even more obscured.
At least the sun's out, though. Maybe Mimic will catch up with us.
I think we're all three in the scene again. D, if you want to be Mimic again.
Sure.
Mimic, are we? Do you know if we're close, or which direction is north?
Which question would you like me to answer first?
North, Mimic, north.
I will attempt to pull up a schematic of a compass for you, but I find my calculations are being obscured by a magnetic field that is radiating nearby.
Maybe we're close.
Magnetic field sounds like something good.
Sophia, can you rig something up? Is there a way to figure out which direction we should go in?
Well, I would say likely if we follow perhaps Mimic can point us in the towards the source of this magnetic field. Perhaps it is something that is being generated by some of the mechanical processes of the site.
That makes sense to me.
We need to get to the compound, however we get there. But we need to get there today.
Let's do it. Let's move towards this mag force. Mimic, which direction should we go? I'm going to turn and you tell me when to stop, and we'll continue walking in that direction. And Cyndy begins turning in place.
Getting warmer.
Okay, Mimic, am I there?
Oh, yes, very hot now.
All right, this is the way we're going, okay? Does that make sense?
Who programmed this? All right, well, lead on.
These are all of our AIs have been used for pleasure. To make a true informational like these are.
Must be something wrong with it.
Right. They're not research devices anymore. So we
That's
we
for sure.
continue forward and trudging through the snow.
Indeed, and as we do, thin ice!
Oh.
The icy terrain gives way. It is a lake and not very frozen on top. Because it is a warm lake. A very warm
Well,
lake.
it just recently turned into a
Just
blizzard.
very warm. It's a hot spring.
So yeah, we fall
We turn or you
into the
do.
ice. Yeah.
Or we're threatened with falling into the ice.
Icy terrain.
I'd say we like
Thin ice.
like the ice starts to crack beneath our feet,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, oh no, and start running.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and we're running across this lake as it like falls apart,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's a crevasse with water at the bottom.
Cenote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're all running, and like some are stumbling, we're slipping,
Mm-hmm.
trying to grab each other and pull ourselves up. Like finally the cracks in this ice that falls, and it falls like, 50, 60 feet, and like goes thwoosh into this like watery saline.
Yeah, it's warm.
Below.
It's warmer than the surroundings.
We're near the edge
Yeah.
when it catches up to us, and now we're sliding on this icy slope towards this water
Mm-hmm.
and holding on to one another.
Ah!
I say, grab anything sharp and just plunge it into the ice as quick as you can.
I
I'm
plunge
using my
in,
smarts to reduce the threat.
and I plunge in my rifle.
Like we're jamming in pitons, we help each other scramble. So after, I mean, honestly, like the most strenuous hour of our lives, we
Climbing out.
finally
Yeah.
get off the edge of this ice and look back over what is opened up is this massive depression with water at the base.
And above it, compound.
Yeah, we look back and
Yeah.
there's
It's looming before us. The wind blowing, mutant
Oh,
owls circling above it, lights
Screeching.
flickering from within.
as we are standing on the edge of this thing, the metal devices that we use to like
Yeah.
climb with, I had used the pistol.
Yep.
And it's now like bent
Mangled.
and unusable.
Full of dust and snow.
Yeah, it's just like
Dusty snow.
Mm-hmm.
The
it's
worst.
ruined.
Mud.
And,
Mid.
and our choice got us across.
Yep.
Should we have continued flying forward? We crashed pretty hard, but it seems like it's
we
just as
crashed.
dangerous
Yeah.
being on the ground.
To be sneaky.
Yeah.
What else can we do? We have to move. Trudge
Just got to
forward.
keep going.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
world
I
is
think
counting on us.
we still have the option of being sneaky.
These roboids aren't going to stop,
Yeah.
and neither will we.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
We interrupt our story here and we'll resume in our next communique. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. You can find my media recommendation review podcast at newtoyoushow.com and my book club podcast at woundandstab.com. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me, Ken Breese, at Burling's Beard, BRBERINGS, Beard, on Twitter, Instagram, my own website of the same name. Also, if you're in the New York City area, I'm a concierge DM, so hire me to run your D&D games. Would love to game with you.
Gaming it up. And if you want to tweet with me, Gailey, about games or LGBT queer stuff or activism or whatever, all kinds of cool stuff, you can tweet at me, MXNURD, on Twitter.
To learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. If you'd like to collaborate in helping us make the show, you can help us financially at BoardGhost's Patreon. It's patreon.com/BoardGhost, where you can get access to how to play videos, art from the show in wallpaper form, and you can even get the full episode on the first week that it drops versus the first half in 1 week and the second half in the second week. So again, we really appreciate all of our patrons, and we hope to have a nice little community there. We're on Facebook, we're on all these things, but our sort of like direct communication lately has been on the Patreon. So you can check us out there. Again, that's patreon.com/BoardGhost. And if you are not in a place to make a financial contribution, share the show. That is a huge thing to let people know about it. We aren't putting any paid advertisement out right now. So getting out there and telling people about the show, getting them to listen, it helps get more exposure to these great games and, helps encourages us that people are listening. So, and also reach out to us and let us know what you like and what you'd like to hear more of. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal, and please take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Dying, don't agree with me.